Yo, bro, you're out here grinding, right? Paying your bills, saving a little here and there. And hey, that's solid advice, no cap. Nothing wrong with that. But let's be real, man. That next level of wealth, it's always just out of reach, right? You've probably been told it's all about a better budget, a bigger paycheck, or that one perfect investment. But what if you've been sleeping on the real secret? What if it's got nothing to do with numbers and everything to do with your mind? Like, scientists are low-key obsessed with how powerful your brain is, bro. It can literally create your reality. That house you're in, that park over there, all started in someone's mind. Bro, just pause for a sec and think about that. The rich are different because of their money, man. It's their brain. Let's break down how they think. All right, bro, it all starts with one core shift, moving from that scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. But yo, this ain't just about finances. It's a full-on shift in your energy. It's how you show up in the world and what the world reflects back at you. The scarcity mindset, it's all about lack. It sees the world like it's a pizza with limited slices. If someone else takes a bigger piece, you're left with less. That energy of fear, jealousy, and hoarding? Nah, bro, it doesn't just close your wallet, it closes your mind. It makes you defensive, competitive in the wrong ways, and blind to opportunities. You're telling the higher power, there ain't enough for me, and you take what you deserve. Now, the abundance mindset, that's a whole different vibe. It's all about creativity, not math. These people get it. The pie isn't fixed. It can be made bigger. It can be flipped into something else. They know that ideas lead to more ideas. Connections create more connections. And wealth? Wealth can come from just a thought and the action to back it up. That energy of possibility, it attracts collaboration, makes you generous, and helps you stay focused on the long game. This is where stuff like the law of attraction isn't just some mystical mumbo-jumbo. Nah, bro, it's real psychology. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. When you're operating from abundance, you're like a magnet for opportunities, people, and resources that match that energy. Let's break it down, bro. Here's how this energy shows up in your daily grind. The average person, stuck in that scarcity mindset, hits a wall and says, I can't afford that. Boom, the conversation's over. It's a declaration of defeat, a dead end. But the person with the abundance mindset, they don't stop there. They hit that same wall and ask, how can I afford that? Feel the difference, bro? That word, how? That's the key. It gets your brain in problem-solving mode. It opens up paths you didn't even see before. It makes you get creative. Can I pick up a new skill to earn more? Can I hustle? Can I start a side gig? Can I find a smarter way? That shift, it's not just about thinking positive. It's like hitting the reset button on your mind. You're not just changing your thoughts. You're rewiring your whole mindset from a consumer to a creator. And trust me, when you make that switch, the world has no choice but to respond. All right, bro, let's tear down a huge myth real quick. We've all been taught to see money like it's a trophy, right? Like, you hit a big number in your bank account, and boom, you've won the game. But if that were true, every lottery winner would be set for life, right? Think about it, bro. The stories are all over the place. The janitor who wins millions, only to be broke and in debt 5 years later. Why? Because they got handed an army of soldiers, but they were still stuck thinking like a civilian. They didn't know how to move them, how to call the shots. So they sent their soldiers on doomed missions, flashy cars, wild parties, bad loans from friends. Next thing you know, their army's wiped out and they're back to square one. This proves the real point. If you woke up tomorrow with $1 million in your account, it wouldn't magically make you wealthy. You'd just be a person with $1 million. Real wealth isn't about how much money you have. It's about the general you've become. The wealthy-minded dude, he's not hoarding his soldiers in a vault. He's a general. His skill isn't in having an army, it's knowing how to move them like a boss. Bro, let's be real. You can absolutely send your financial soldiers on a glorious early retirement. Maybe you'll deploy your cash to secure the latest iPhone, all for that 5-second ego boost when you slide it across the table at a coffee shop. Or go big, take on debt to prove I'm kinda okay to strangers in traffic. Just think, you're sacrificing your future army for applause from an audience that isn't even watching. Ha! Smart move, bro. Real smart. Okay, just kidding. Actually, what am I trying to tell you is, you can send them out to work for you. You send them into assets, a stock, a fund, a business. Now, those soldiers are out there on the front lines, capturing more soldiers, aka more cash, and sending them back to your base. That's cash flow. That's appreciation. So the real question isn't how much money do I have? It's how many soldiers do I have in my army, and what are their orders? Are they dying for quick comfort, or are they building you an empire? The moment you start thinking like a general, you stop playing the consumer game and start playing the builder's game. And trust me, bro, that's when everything changes. But I can already hear you. Okay, cool story, bro. Soldiers, empires, whatever. But where do I get these soldiers? My paycheck is already enlisted in the war against my bills. All right, real talk. Let's break down how you actually recruit this army. This isn't theoretical. This is the playbook. Step 1, recruiting season, where you find your soldiers. You don't find soldiers, bro. You make them. Your first mission, become the recruiter, not the spender. Before you pay anyone else, you pay your future self. Non-negotiable. The second that paycheck lands, you move a cut, 10%, 15%, whatever you can, into a separate account. That's your recruitment base. This is your army fund. You're not saving money. You're commissioning troops. Raw recruits don't win wars. You gotta train and deploy them. Cash by itself is just potential energy. You turn it into power when you assign it a job. Here's how your army breaks down. Firstly, the infantry is built using index funds and ETFs. These are your foundation. Not glamorous, but absolutely essential. You invest in a low-cost fund that automatically holds hundreds of companies. This isn't about picking winners. It's about owning the entire field and winning slowly, consistently, over time. You build wealth by consistently adding to your foundation, not by gambling on a single corner of it. Now, once your foundation is solid and your infantry is holding the line, you might be tempted to chase bigger, faster wins. And that's where your special forces come in. This is your high-risk, high-reward squad. Your strategic plays in individual stocks or crypto. The crucial rule here is simple. You never send your whole army. You only deploy a small, calculated squad you're prepared to lose. These operatives can pull off incredible missions and bring back massive rewards, but they can also get wiped out in an instant. That's why this isn't gambling. It's about having a clear strategy, doing your reconnaissance, and moving with intelligence. You only commit what you can afford to lose, because the goal is to enhance your empire, not to bet it all on one daring raid. But a truly unstoppable empire isn't just built on investments you buy. It's built on the one asset no one can ever take from you, yourself. This is the ultimate force multiplier, the command center. The command center is where the real strategy happens. This is where you invest in learning how to build a business from the ground up. You study logistics, learn the art of negotiation, master the principles of marketing. You're not just funding another purchase, you're funding the headquarters that coordinates your entire financial empire. The command center doesn't fight battles, it designs them. It builds systems that generate more troops, better intelligence. and stronger positions. This is what separates a foot soldier from a general. While others are taking orders, you're in the command center, looking at the big picture and moving all the pieces toward victory. Let's keep it real, bro. Thinking like the wealthy ain't some secret hack. It's a total mindset upgrade, what I call the general's mindset. It's that shift from asking, "Can I afford it?" to "How can I build it?" From chasing paychecks to commanding cash flow. Money, it's your army. You've got your steady infantry in index funds, your special ops in calculated plays, and your command center. That's you, bro. Building skills, creating assets, and stacking systems that work while you sleep. A real general doesn't freak out when the market sneezes. You hold the line, you adapt, you study the map, your net worth, and you plan your next move. You play the long game, not the short hustle, because every single dollar is a soldier under your command. So let me ask you, bro, you still running in consumer mode, sending your army to fight for short-term comfort? Or are you finally gonna take command, flip your mindset, and build something that lasts? Because before you control your money, you gotta control your mind. Change what you believe, and the game changes with you. Your thoughts build your habits. Your habits build your empire. Now get your mind right. Get your army in formation. And if this hit home, bro, drop a like, hit subscribe, and let's keep building that legacy together. Peace.